Oh, okay. Wow, this Zoom meeting is being recorded. Yeah, I'm gonna start at 7:08, and then yeah, we'll get right into it. I also have dogs in the background if you like cannot hear.
Bring your dog on screen.
Maybe later, I don't know. Okay, yeah, let's get right into it. So my name is Kingsley. I am the this coming year's corporate outreach director, and we're gonna get into our organizer recruitment panel. So today we're gonna talk about like the overarching I guess like culture of Hacc, and then get into every single department's responsibilities, and then we're going to talk about like the application process to apply to Hacc at UCI and to be an organizer, and then we're going to have some lovely panelists talking about their experience here at Hacc at UCI, and then you'll also during that panel you'll also be able to ask questions to them, and so Hacc at we at Hacc at UCI have been hosting hackathons, but also workshops to really teach people to basically explore technology and create technology. So we have Hacks, our beginner hackathon, which some of you may have been to. Hacc UCI, our flagship hackathon that happened this past January, and also our upcoming hackathon in collaboration with Women in Information and Computer Sciences, Venus Hacks. So I'm gonna bring it to Zach. Oh.
Hello, and nice to meet you all. My name is Zach. I am the previous tech and logistics co-director. So let's talk a little bit about what a hackathon is. So basically a hackathon is where you get to meet a bunch of cool people, build awesome projects, and learn a bunch of awesome skills and how to use different technologies at the various workshops that are offered. Um, Hackathons are pretty much at the forefront of what our club does, and we plan 2 big hackathons throughout the whole year. So that is definitely something to look forward to if you want to participate, and especially if you want to become an organizer.
Yeah, and in addition to those 2 hackathons and our upcoming hackathon with Wix, we also host like other events such as technical workshops. I believe last spring we had a how to use Google Sheets, but we also have like workshop with Flask, web scraping, HTML, CSS, and so much more. And then every single Thursday, we do have hack nights where really it's just a chill time for organizers and general members to hang out, talk, and also like work on projects. And we do also have socials. So back like right before winter break, we had a mock hack night. We called it Rat Night, where we just watched Ratatouille with everyone together. And so back to Zach.
All right, so why should you join Hack? So we have 3 main pillars that apply to our club. And the first one is learn to grow as a professional and as a person. And this relates to the technologies that you'll get to learn how to use. It relates to all the skills that you'll learn along the way while planning events. And also just learning how to be a better communicator, which will serve you very well when you end up going into industry. The next pillar is explore. So explore the many possibilities between people in CS and tech and other fields. So this relates to the interactions that you'll have with your fellow organizers, hackers, and general members within Hacc at UCI. And it also relates to helping maintain and build an even stronger community within ICS, so that we can make sure that everybody that is interested in technology, programming, and doing CS related projects feels welcome and has a community to stand behind them. The last pillar is create a helpful community that empowers people to do their best work. So this is basically our opportunity to give back to the ICS community by planning hackathons, planning workshops, and helping other people gain more skills and preparing them for what they may encounter in the workforce and anything else later on.
Yeah. And moving on to the culture of Hack. So some things we really care about is like empathy, responsibly and accountantly. And this is to like really ensure that our events are the best possible, so that we serve like the ICS community. And in addition to like anyone else who comes to our hackathons, because our hackathons are open to people from other schools. And in addition to that, we do have a growth mindset. Uh, we dream big and achieve, because we want all our events to be larger than the previous. And lastly, we also like collaborate and communicate with each other really deeply, because it takes a whole team to run these events. And moving on to our four committees, we have corporate, marketing, which is split into two subcommittees, general and graphics. We have our newest team, the tech team, and as well as logistics. And so we're gonna one by one go through each department and what they do for Hack at UCI. So for corporate, we are the sales of Hack. We basically market ourselves to real companies such as, which you'll see in the next slide. And we get them to sponsor our events, our hackathons. But in addition to like marketing ourselves to companies, we also reach out to other organizations and put on collaboration events such as our Venus Hacks, but also we also like bring in other organizations into Hack UCI for them to host workshops. But yeah, this is with corporate, you'll be really building a relationship with sponsors, and not only like for Hack at UCI, but also like for yourself when you're looking for future career opportunities and internships. So moving on, these are some of our previous sponsors. You may see some of our sponsors from Hack UCI 2021, but also Hack UCI 2020 and 2019. And I'm going to bring it over to marketing.
All right. Hey, everyone. My name is Riley. I'm the current marketing director for Hack at UCI. Just some general things that you would sort of see as a general marketing organizer as a part of Hack is we basically are going to be, your roles are going to be basically to plan and implement different marketing campaigns for Hack UCI or Hack at UCI, whether it be through our workshops that we hold, our social events that we have like Hack Nights, and as well, and most importantly, our hackathons. Through this, we communicate most of the marketing roles that we have, implement and use a lot of our social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram. We're using a little bit of Twitter, not too much, and then also our newsletter platform using MailChimp as well. As a part of like the marketing department and a marketing organizer, you'll be expected to basically draft blurbs that we will be posting onto those social media platforms, as well as the newsletter as well. And then something that we're trying to push more this year is try to basically look at a lot of our reaction and impression data a lot with our all of our Facebook posts and our Instagram posts as well. We definitely want to look more at the interaction with it and kind of learn from that as well. But as Kingsley also said, that there is also another part of marketing as well, and that's graphics. So I'm going to move it on to our design lead, Ryan.
Hi, yeah, like Riley said, I'm the design lead. And yeah, so pretty much we work closely with marketing to create social media posts, those graphics, such as probably the ones you saw on either Instagram or Facebook. That's made by the graphics team. And we also work on the theme and aesthetics for our hackathons and our big events. So for example, this year, if you join us, we'd be working on Zot Hacks, which is a beginner hackathon in the fall, and Hack UCI, which is our largest event. And doing that, we also get to work with the tech team on the web design. And next up, I'll take it over to the tech team.
Sorry, but that was muted. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. As Ryan mentioned, I'm the tech director, Nathan. Nice to meet you. So basically, what tech is, we're like the web developers of Hack. As web developers, you're going to be coordinating a lot with other teams. Again, as Ryan mentioned, we work with graphics to create the sites such as our club site, which is hack at uci.edu, as well as our hackathon site, which is hackuci.com. And so basically, we're kind of split up into two different sections, but a lot of overlap between. For the front end part, mostly we'll be working in UI UX, which HTML CSS. So if you're really familiar with that, I encourage you to try out our deliverable. And again, with JavaScript frameworks such as Angular and React. So if you're familiar with any of those topics or frameworks, again, it'll be a huge help. In the backend side, we also maintain cloud tools such as AWS, Amazon Web Services, Heroku, and use database management such as MongoDB. So again, I encourage you to apply if you're really familiar with any of these tools. The tech committee is really, I would consider the glue to help connect with other teams and build new projects. Something we're going to plan to do a lot more in the future is create more quality of life changes to just expedite more fun things and tools, such as like the Discord bot and maybe a Slack bot, just to help expedite and make the lives of other committees easier. Yeah, so I'll pass it on to logistics.
All right, so on to logistics, the operations of Hacc. So general logistics organizers will be responsible for ironing out all the nitty-gritty details behind the event. Some of those things include venues, transportation, application reviewing, and food distribution. There's many, many more committees that you'll have the opportunity to join and work with. But if you're going to work on logistics, you can plan to be taking a very strong leadership role and running those committees for everybody throughout the organization. When it comes down to Hacc UCI and Hacks, everybody works together to do logistics activities, but the logistics orgs are the ones that take the leadership roles there. One thing that we are looking for in a good logistics organizer is someone that works on time. They have a strong attention to detail. They're exceptionally organized and follow processes thoroughly and correctly. And they're really good at making quick decisions and have strong communication skills. So apply to logistics, check out our deliverable. It's going to be awesome. All right, and now on to the application process. So basically, we're going to be asking you to fill out an application through Airtable. And it's going to consist of some general questions that are going to be asked regardless of what committee that you want to, or what org you want to apply to. And then you'll be able to select which orgs you want to apply to. So you can apply to more than one. After that, you'll be able to answer specific questions for the committees and also do the deliverables that are associated with those committees. Once that's over, your application will be potentially accepted, and after it is accepted, you'll be receiving emails to ask you to schedule interview slots. So yeah, emails will be sent out in early spring, and that's when we will be having more information about the decisions following that. So you can check out our application at hackuci.com/recruit. All right, and now we will be moving on to the section where we ask our panelists various questions. So I guess we will kick it off and have everybody introduce themselves that's on the panel. So, Denise, if you want to start us off.
Oh yeah. Could you all introduce yourself? Name, pronoun, year, major, the department you work in, or yeah, the department you're in, and also your favorite form of egg for fun.
For sure. Hey y'all, my name is Chase, pronouns he, him, his. I'm a 4th year, but I'm going to be taking a 5th year. I am a computer science major and I work in both logistics, and recently I just joined the tech team as well. I'd say my favorite form of egg is probably a deviled egg.
All right, let's move on to William now.
Everyone, my name is William. I use he, him, his pronouns, and I'm a 1st year data science major. I joined Hacc UCI in, I think, December of last year as a logistics intern. And favorite form of egg, okay, let's see. I think I'll have to go with a scrambled egg. It's nice and versatile.
And let's kick it off to Lauren.
My name is Lauren. Go by she pronouns. Year is 2022. My major is computer science, and I'm in corporate. Favorite form of egg? I'm pretty basic, so sunny side up. Can't really go wrong with that. So yeah.
All right. And then let's bring it out to our corporate intern, Parsa.
Hey everyone, my name is Parsa, pronouns he, him, his, and like William, I am also I'm also an intern, but in the corporate department, and I'm a first-year computer science and engineering major. And favorite form of egg would have to be omelets. They're very good.
All right, and next up we have Ryan.
Hi, I'm Ryan. I'm the design lead this upcoming year, and my pronouns are he, him, his. I am a third year. I'm a computer science major, and my favorite form of egg would have to be scrambled eggs.
All right, next up we have Tyler.
Hi everyone, my name is Tyler. My pronouns are he, him, his, and then I am a third year business admin major with an emphasis in marketing. Hence the department, which is also marketing. And then my favorite form of egg is definitely sunny side up.
All right, next up we have Lhasa.
Howdy, I'm Lhasa. I go by he, him, his. I'm a senior computer science major on the tech team. And my favorite form of egg is also sunny side up. I'm glad I'm not the only person after Tyler. It is the superior egg for breakfast.
All right. All right, so we're going to kick off the panelist section with a couple of questions that we already have determined here. So any of y'all are free to sort of like just start talking, and then whoever gets to it first will, I guess, answer first. So the first question that we have is, why did you join Hacc?
For me, I was looking to find like more of a community within like the CS majors at UCI. Prior to joining Hacc, I really only met people inside my major classes, but having joined Hacc now, I've met so many people. I mean, we have, I think, almost 30 organizers, and we work with such a large portion of the student population. It's been great getting to know and work with all these awesome people throughout the past year.
I could also speak on why I wanted to join Hacc. Same reasons as Chase, but another reason was that I really want to like give back to like the programming community on UCI. Like I felt like I had like I was part of it, but like there's something nice about giving back and like creating opportunities for other people in your major. And so it was just like a way for me to get involved and just be a part of the programming community.
I'll also add on to that. So I got started in computer science through hackathons. That was kind of like what led to my first internships and stuff. And honestly, like I just really enjoy the experience of like helping people like specifically on their projects. And when you're a Hacc organizer, you kind of get like a little more top level role on that. Like, you know, just being able to work on like the specific workshops and guide through how people build their projects at the different hackathons that we do.
I can also add on to that. I also didn't have much experience with hackathons before Hacc UCI. I went to one hackathon beforehand, and I was interested in learning more about the process and how developer culture functions with all that. So I feel like through joining Hacc, I got to learn a lot more about just hackathons in general, and I got excited about that.
Yeah, I guess riding on the coattails of Parsa's answer, I would have to say that I mainly joined Hacc just to like gain more perspective, at least, just because like the business school is sort of a bubble. So Hacc at UCI really gave me that like foot in the door to, you know, sort of get more involved with the ICS community. And then I also really wanted some more marketing experience too. Then I'd say that Hacc really, you know, really helped me sharpen my skills.
Yeah, I feel like my answer is really similar to what's already been said, but for me, I hadn't had too much experience with hackathons before. I've been to a few ones in person, and like every single time, I was kind of awestruck at how well organized things were. And coming into college, I was like, hey, I want to really be a part of that, and, you know, help plan these awesome events for other students.
And I guess I'm the last one to speak on this. I was just looking for a nice fun community with a lot of CS people, and Hacc provided that. There's also a lot of room for growth, and specifically for graphics, there's a lot of opportunities to practice your design skills and build up your portfolio with the things you make here.
All right, thank you. I guess like moving on, I know you're all like really busy in your lives, but like what is like the average workload for Hack, specifically for like all of your departments? And then we can go on with like one from each department. So starting off with Chase.
For sure. So it definitely varies a bit by the time of the year. You know, when we're right around hackathon season, that's when things really start getting busy, and you're constantly looking at making spreadsheets, outlining, you know, the plan for the upcoming weekend. I think a typical average workload for the logistics department usually got at least 1 to maybe 2 meetings a week, depending on what subcommittees you're on. Um, so yeah, I'd say maybe an hour or two of work outside of class. It's not super heavy during the year, but like I said, when we do get around hackathon season, that's when the workload starts to pick up a little bit.
Yeah, and then for corporate, typically we're pretty much busy like throughout like the summer and then like winter and fall because we're trying to get like a lot of like the monetary sponsors for our events like Zot Hacks. So we have to prepare beforehand for that, and then for Hack at UCI, prepare beforehand for that as well. But I'd say like kind of on like a weekly basis, I'd say about like 2 hours per week. A lot of like researching like companies and sending out emails. It's kind of hard to gauge it because it's not like you just do it like a little bit every day. It's just kind of like when you get emails and like when you send them out. And so I think that's the best way I can explain it.
Yeah, how about the graphics team?
Yeah, so for graphics, like the others have said, the work usually ramps up during the hackathon times because sometimes there are some unexpected social media pushes that have to be made. So there's some last minute graphics to add some time. But for the most part, even though we make like a lot of graphics, like stuff for the websites and for marketing pushes, we plan things for the hackathons at least like months in advance. So we usually have a lot of time to plan those out. And because of that, plus meetings, I would say that there's at least an hour a week for graphics. And yeah.
Yeah, I would say for marketing too, it's a bit seasonal, mainly because we only really market towards like when events come out, when workshops come out, which is pretty consistent, or yeah, pretty consistent. So I would say that it's mainly just like at least an hour per week for marketing. But also a lot of it is looking towards the future too, to figure out like how Hacker UCI can sort of optimize the marketing as well.
In terms of tech, yeah, like it's very, very like seasonal, kind of like the other ones, maybe a little more so because you kind of have to do everything like after graphics gets in their stuff. In terms of like time, I'd say it's about like 5 to 6 hours a couple weeks of the year. Not too bad. Like, and our tech team is growing, so it's definitely going to have like a little more distribution of the workload across all of those things. But yeah, and we're starting to like work more collaboratively and work on things at the same time. It's kind of like Zot Hacks is like our time to develop the Hack UCI site and the bulk of that stuff.
All right, yeah, thank you so much. And like moving on to another question, like what were your goals before joining Hack, and then how have you achieved them? Sorry, and then like what are you looking forward to accomplishing in Hack in like the coming year or years, unless you're graduating this year?
I can start off with this question. For me, I really want to like gain some experience in like talking to like companies, which is like perfect for corporate. Overall, just kind of want to like practice like my professional conversations with like reaching out to companies, as well as like getting to know people, not only with like actual companies, but also like people on campus and other orgs. So overall, I just want to like kind of expand that like network that I had with UCI and with other companies. I achieved it mainly through corporate by like reaching out and stuff, but also like I mentioned earlier, one of the reasons why I wanted to join Hack was because I want to like give back to the CS community and like through hackathons, I was able to do that, as well as like meeting more people within the major as well. I think something that I'm looking forward to is I've only been organizer in Hack during like the pandemic, so I haven't really had that in-person like hackathon experience. Oh, no, sorry, in-person hack at UCI experience. So I'm really like hoping to expand on that and be able to like just be like in person and like act and just I guess getting the true taste of what I originally want to join for. So that's been pretty cool, or like that's what I'm planning on doing.
Yeah, I would say I'm in like a similar boat to Lauren. So coming into Hack originally, I mainly came in because I wanted more marketing experience, but also because I wanted to sort of test out more like guerrilla marketing to say. So not really, I was step away from like social media and work towards more like different marketing strategies. I'd say that I haven't achieved them quite yet, just because like with everything online, you know, we only have social media to market. But that's also one of the bigger things I'm looking towards for next year with regards to Hack. Just because like in person, we could sort of implement different strategies. And then I'm also looking forward to, you know, seeing everyone in person.
All right, so let's move on to the next section of our panel. So we're gonna open up questions to all of our participants in the call here. So if you have any questions, you can either unmute yourself and ask them or type them in the chat.
Yeah, I guess like while we wait for like the questions to come in, I guess like while hackers are hacking, like what are you doing at Hack UCI? You know, because you can't participate in Hack UCI if you're an organizer.
I have a question.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
What does the fall quarter like leading up to the hackathon in winter?
Could you repeat that?
Oh, what does the fall quarter look like leading up to the hackathon in the winter quarter? Like, how much work do you do? Yeah, that's my question.
Kingsley, do you want someone from like per department to speak on this?
Yeah, sure. We can start with corporate, I guess.
For corporate, typically our workload, it kind of continues from like summer till end of fall quarter. That's or like in like a little bit of beginning of winter as well. That's kind of what our timeline looks like. It's mostly kind of like sprints and like just kind of make sure that you meet like some quotas. So again, like I'd say about like 2 hours per week. But then again, like for corporate, our job is just to gain sponsorship. So it's just kind of like a long like kind of process of like communicating with other with like these point of connections with companies and stuff like that and reaching out and stuff. So it's I'd say it's kind of consistent through that time. But during the end, like you are kind of like actively trying to communicate with these who you're coordinating with to make sure you can lock down these sponsorships.
For logistics, we actually do more than just the regular hackathon. We also do a beginners hackathon in the fall. So it's called Zot Hacks, and it's open for beginner hackathons to try to build up their skills, get a little bit of hackathon experience, and learn some new stuff. In addition to Zot Hacks, we'll also put on a few beginner-friendly workshops. We'll throw like hack social nights. So we have a few different smaller events happening in the fall leading up into the regular hackathon later in the year.
Yeah, I'd say for marketing for fall quarter, it's mainly working with logistics and graphics to sort of plan those workshops, like the marketing of those workshops, probably like a week prior to the actual event. But then coming closer to like Zot Hacks, it's definitely more aggressive because we're trying to push like the application, mentorships, all that stuff. So yeah, so it's not too terrible. And then we also send out the weekly newsletter too. Yeah, so it's like a pretty consistent amount of work throughout fall quarter.
And for graphics, just like Tyler said, we work a lot with marketing. They plan out a lot of the workshops and weekly events that we have during fall quarter. So after like we get some info on that, we have some time to work on those graphics. And for preparing for the hackathons, we usually have some designers that are focused on Zot Hacks and other designers that are focused on Hack UCI that's coming in the following quarter, so that the work is evenly spread out and that we are not like overworked but that doesn't mean that there's not a lot of work. Sometimes, like the week before the hackathon, of course, not everything goes according to plan. So you might have to like create like an extra asset or like some logos or a banner for like another unexpected platform. But yeah.
And for tech, like during the summer, I think we kind of have like three main projects going, like maintaining the Hacc UCI club site, Zot Hack site. We usually try to finish up like 1 to 2 meetings into fall quarter. And then I think winter quarter and Zot Hacks is kind of like or winter quarter break, like going into winter quarter. And Zot Hacks is like the primary times that we develop the main hack site. And then there's also like updating sponsors on the site, which goes year round all the time. But we'll try to make that smoother going forward.
Yeah, thank you so much. And also, like, interns join us during like late December, and that's like especially close to Hacc UCI. So for our interns, how does that look like in like those short months between joining and planning out Hacc UCI?
I guess I can kick this off. So for corporate especially, our job is to contact sponsors and get as much money as possible for the event. So you basically just have to keep, in addition to what the other organizers have already done, keep emailing potential sponsors and asking for their support. And along with that, just working on the committees with logistics to get all the events up and running for Hacc UCI, like the team formation and all that, to make sure the event runs smoothly and just get everything up and running last minute so that we can make the event as good as possible for everyone coming in.
Yeah, so it's a very similar story in logistics. When I joined, we were kind of right in the middle of planning for Hacc UCI. So as Chase mentioned, logistics is actually split up into a bunch of subcommittees. So usually you serve on a couple of subcommittees, and each one kind of handles one particular area of planning for the hackathon. So what it usually looks like is like the entire logistics team has like a bi-weekly meeting, and then you kind of check in with your subcommittee organizers. And then as a subcommittee, you kind of just report on your progress, see how things are coming along. And then like you can ask if your committee is maybe a little bit behind or needing some extra help. Like there'll be plenty of other people who will be there to support you. So it's really, really just like a team effort in that last sprint to make sure everything is kind of planned out right before the event.
All right. Yeah, does does anyone else have any other questions? And you can unmute, or you can just type it in chat. Or I guess we could move on to a fun one in the meantime. What were you all doing during Hacc UCI if you weren't hacking?
Fixing bugs on the hack site.
Oh, sorry.
Fixing bugs on the hack site.
For
Kind
me
of fun.
on logistics, logistics is always really fun during the hackathon because this is when everything's happening and you're behind the scenes running around making sure everything's working correctly. Me specifically, I was in charge of our Slack, so our communications, all the messages that were going out from Hackbot, that was all me behind the scenes. So it's really fun, like getting to work with your other logistics co-organizers and making sure everything runs smoothly throughout the event. It can be a little stressful at times, but if you enjoy those like high, fast-paced environments, then you'll really love being on the logistics team.
I think also for me, as like corporate, it's kind of like you're just really assisting like logistics. I feel like helping them run like their workshops and stuff. So you might like, I think I led a few of the socials during the social events during the hackathon. So it's like definitely just like kind of all hands on deck trying to assist and make sure everything goes smoothly.
For graphics, usually we're just on standby just in case there are some improvised like social media post that we want to make during the hackathon, and we need to get a graphic out real quick for that. Besides that, you can always join in on like workshops and the fun games that happen during hackathons too, though.
Yeah, for marketing, when we're not hacking, we're mainly just like paying attention to the workshops and socials and events that are coming up pretty much, and then planning on marketing for those on like our Instagram or Facebook. But besides that, we're on standby as well. And then, you know, like if when you're a hack at UCI, I mean hack UCI, you can always just join like any of the workshops, socials, anything. It's pretty fun.
Oh yeah, and in addition to that, like for corporate, we're also like coordinating with our current sponsors, such as making sure like all their APIs, their products are like delivered to hackers, but also prizes. And in addition to that, we're also working for corporate. We're also working with like external organizations like Wix, ACM, VGDC, into pulling off the workshops they host at Hack UCI.
All right. All right, so this will be the last call for questions from the audience here. So if you have any, just drop them in the chat. Give 1 sec for that. All right, so one from Arita here. What application tips do you all have? Yes.
I think this would be a good one for the directors.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess I could start off with the corporate one. So our corporate deliverable kind of puts you in a scenario where you're like reaching out to a company for the first time, or maybe like you've met them at a career fair and you kind of want to follow up with them. So I guess like my tip for that is to like really try to visualize yourself in that kind of scenario. Maybe for like first years or second years, maybe you haven't gone to like a career fair. Because usually like during in-person, like we would go to a career fair, kind of follow up with them after like talking about hack at UCI, and that's okay if you haven't. So I guess like my tip for that would be like, oh, how would you like cold contact someone for the first time? You can like either research how to do so, or like try to very vividly kind of dream up some scenario where you can like talk about and um, simulate that kind of email to a sponsor.
Right. Riley, you want to also comment on that one? Or maybe Ryan.
Hold up. I guess Raleigh's mic not be working too
My
well.
mic was muted. My bad.
Oh, there we go.
Cool. So for the marketing application, we're really looking for kind of like what Kingsley said, is like put yourself into the scenarios and kind of understand like what the events are about. And mostly like focus on like who your audience is, and really work on the tone of how you're going to draft your blurbs, or whatever sort of emails you're going to send out, as well as be really creative when it comes to the marketing timeline. We really are really interested to see like how you go through the whole process of planning, and also how you're going to basically market the event as well.
And for graphics, a lot of it's kind of self-explanatory, but we just want something that looks really nice. But we also really appreciate flexibility, because sometimes we're posting the same kind of graphic, but on like a bunch of different platforms, like one's for Instagram, one's for Facebook, another banner is for like dev post, and another one is on an almanac. So like a lot of the same content, but you might have to be flexible with like how you portray information to a way that when people look at it, they're like, oh, I want to go to that event. And as for like tools you use to make the graphics, no need to worry about that too much. Just use what you have access to. Though our personal favorites are Figma and the Adobe suite, so like Photoshop and Illustrator, since those are also free for UCI students right now. And yeah.
All right, and Elise, do you want to talk about logistics? Or I can take that if you want.
Yeah, can you take that, please?
Yeah, sure. All right, so for logistics, I kind of went over some of the qualities that we were looking for already. Other than that, really, I'm emphasizing attention to detail when doing the deliverable. Think about, I don't want to give anything away, but just like all of the possible expenses that there are and the number of participants. And yeah, just enthusiasm about event planning. It's completely fine if you haven't had a whole lot of experience with that before, but just make sure you put a lot of effort into the deliverable. Make it easy to look at, easy to read, and those are probably, yeah, that's pretty much all the advice I have. I don't know if you have anything else, Chase, but yeah.
I think you pretty much nailed it. Stuff's organized, looks nice. That's always a plus. We're very big on making our spreadsheets look nice.
Also, think outside the box. What are some additional things that you could add onto it that aren't necessarily required? All right, and for tech, Nathan, you want to talk about tech?
Yeah. So basically, our deliverable is going to be based on React and APIs. So like, make sure you touch upon that. If you're not familiar with React, it's not too hard to pick up. Just there's a lot of resources online to pick up as well. Just read through them. But for the most part, we're just looking for clean, efficient, legible code. Just good coding habits like commenting your code, knowing Git is really important because all our version control is controlled through Git, and just trying to make your code as most efficient as possible. So yeah, just know your stuff if you can. Practice. That's all we do. That's about it.
All right, so any other questions? All right, so with that, we are going to wrap up here. But before y'all go, we're going to be moving over to Discord. If you would like to talk to any of us one-on-one. If you're not currently part of our Discord, I'm going to drop a link here to sign up. Here you go. You can sign up for our Discord here, and you will be getting an email invite to join. So yeah, we'll be over there. If you want to talk to any of us one-on-one, just hop onto Discord, and you can ask us any questions that you have about applications. Once again, correct me if I'm wrong, March 29th is the due date for the applications. Don't forget, make sure you do all of the deliverables before you apply. Upload it in one batch. Don't forget about the deliverables. It happens all the time. All right. With that, thank you all for coming, and thank you to all the panelists for answering the questions. And we will see you in our Discord. Thank you.
Oh my god, I didn't know where the stop screen share button was. But yeah, hop onto our Discord. We'll have hack nights as well, and see you there.